This painting by Jean-Francois Millet, painted in 1857, is seen as a landmark in the realism movement. It is titled The Gleaners and has links with tonight's gospel theme on the importance of a grain of wheat and the CCAT Eco Circle's reflections on the cry of the poor and the cry of the earth. The painting depicts 3 female figures gleaning the leftover grains from the harvest, a rightful practice given to the poor and desperate rural French peasants as an important, if meagre, contribution to their diet. Its origins are biblical, and the practice was adopted over much of Europe at that time, enforceable by law. The painting shows a sharp contrast between wealth and poverty, power and powerlessness, male and female roles. Millet shows the 3 women bent double, totally focused on their work on the ground, not able to lift their eyes to the bounty beyond. You can almost feel the aches from stooping in the women's backs. Their hands are rough with work. This back-breaking work and dull clothing, painted in a very limited palette, contrasts with the abundant harvest in the distance. This is almost festive with warm, hazy pastel colours from the rich harvest. A contrast of light and shadow, suggesting the marginalisation and social insignificance of the gleaners. However, the women are the dominant focus of the painting, and by this, Millet lends dignity to them by recognising their lot. Previous biblical parallels had depicted Ruth gleaning for herself and Naomi, romanticised in paintings as a virtuous example of a way to God, rather than a time of injustice. Millet's painting wasn't well received by the French powerful ruling classes, who remembered all too well the not-so-distant revolution when this very peasant class fought for liberty, fraternity and equality, and were seen as a threat to be kept subservient. Millet was criticised and possibly feared for his socialist views. The red, white and blue caps of the women form the 3 colours of the tricolour, the symbol of revolution, and possibly denotes Millet's hope for change to come and his wanting to make a difference. What in this painting resonates with us today, and what is an example of gleaning in our society? And does it still shock as Millet did? Or has modern technology lessened the impact? How would gleaning be illustrated today? Would it be a queue outside a food bank? A homeless person diving into a food waste skip? Someone collecting goods past their sell-by date from a supermarket? Indian children scavenging on a rubbish tip in Delhi? Or indigenous peoples in developing countries desperately trying to till the land, made either arid or flooded by the changes in the climate? Today's list is as disturbing as it was in the occupied land in Jesus' time 2,000 years ago, and as in Millet's painting 200 years ago. In this week's Gospel, a modern translation of "The kingdom of God is at hand" is "The world is in crisis." Today this is ever more so, and we have modern-day prophets to carry on Jesus' message. As Christ followers, we can dream of a different future where gleaming is put into history and those who gleaned become the means of changing society. Pope Francis and these other modern-day prophets say that change is coming, not from above, but from the margins where Christ lived and died. His resurrection gives us a hope that we are accompanied in order to navigate the social and ecological challenges we still face, so that we can make a difference.